Hi there, so this is just a quick video to explain how to replace the control box on the Lite bed base adjustable bed. So what we have in front of us is the bed flipped upside down onto its back, so you can see all the motors and the mechanics underneath. Now you should really only be replacing the control box if the blue button and the remote control are no longer pairing successfully. So the blue button is a very clever design. It is designed so that you do not have to crawl under the bed, and it can usually be pulled by following the power cord that plugs into the wall and found sitting on the floor. So if you have tried the remote pairing exercise, so that exercise, just once more, is pressing the head down, the foot up, and the blue button at the same time, all three buttons at the same time. If that is not producing a beep noise, and usually it's 3 beeps, then the next step would be to try and do the same process with the learn button. Now, this is upside down, but just where you can see my finger pointing to, on the side of the control box is a little black button, and you can repeat those steps. So pressing head down, foot up, and the learn button, all 3 buttons at the same time, whilst the bed is connected to power, in order to see if the remote can successfully pair to your bed base. So give that a go if you haven't already, and do also try connecting to the mobile app, which is available on the iPhone Apple Store and the Google Play Android Store, because that can also be a temporary solution. It also tells us whether the issue is your remote control and not the control box. So that gives you a few more things to just triple check before you go ahead and follow these next instructions. So if you've decided that the control box does need to be replaced, the first thing you'll do is switch off power at the mains wall, flip the bed onto its side or onto its back as we have here, and identify the control box, which is this box right in the middle of the screen with the colorful stickers. Now, you don't have to go cutting any wires, and you should have your replacement control box nearby. So step 1 is obviously to unscrew your existing control box, the old control box, using a star head screwdriver, and allowing that control box to come loose. You can then, using the pincers on the side, you can remove the cover that keeps the cables neatly and tightly connected to the control box. We then suggest lifting the existing control box whilst the cords are still plugged in. Here I have an example of one that's been taken out already, but essentially replacing that with your new control box, and one by one you'll want to obviously remove the protective cover on the new control box. But to avoid the cables getting mixed up and being plugged into the wrong port, please be very careful to take the existing cable out and connect it to your new control box. These are very stable and very sturdy, so it will require some degree of force. But once you've replaced all of the cables, you can then discard the existing control box, or perhaps you've been asked to send that back for further testing. And you can go ahead and screw in your new control box into the bed base. Once you've completed this step, I would suggest turning power on at the mains wall before flipping your bed back over. And again, you'll want to try the pairing instructions for your remote. So that should be head down, foot up, and your blue button, pressing all three buttons simultaneously and keeping it pressed until you hear beep, beep, beep. If you don't hear beep, 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 again, we would suggest trying the learn button in addition to the two buttons on your remote control, and not pressing the blue button that's on your bed in order to see if that resolves the issue.